Let's get straight to this week's debate. Joining me, Kelly Hyman, a Democratic strategist and former Clinton administration staffer, and Cliff Maloney, president of Young Americans for Liberty. First topic, let's just talk quickly your thoughts, your reaction. Kelly, I'll start with you on the interview with the president earlier today. Earlier tonight, aired earlier tonight. We did it actually a couple days ago.
Yes, talking about the wall. Most Americans do not support the wall and believe that it's a waste of money. There's no doubt that we need to protect our borders, but we need to figure out the way in which we protect our borders. And one of the facts is to use technology to prevent people coming across the border. Quick thought on the
interview, Cliff.
I think he's focused on the economy as much as he should be. I mean, he needs to be shouting about that. I mean, anytime he talks unemployment, it's a positive for him. Anytime he talks about the jobs that are out there, unemployment amongst African Americans, unemployment amongst Hispanic Americans. So I think he's starting to push that, and the more he focuses on the economic stuff, I think it's a win for him.
That actually leads into this. I want you guys to take a look at a sound on tape, a shot from Alfredo Ortiz, Job Creators Network. Listen to what he had to say about taxes and how they help the economy. Watch.
But when you look at the red-hot economy and what's really happened from lower taxes, lower regulations, red tape, and frankly improved access to capital and credit, especially for our small business owners who are really hurt because of the Dodd-Frank Act, and now fixes of that have taken that away. This has really been a trifecta of fixes for small business owners since Trump came into office, and we couldn't be happier with what the administration has put forth for our small business owners.
Well, as you said, Cliff.
Yeah, I think it's a problem for Democrats because right now we've got a free enterprise system in America that's working. I mean, when you see regulations dropping off, when you see taxes being lowered for everybody.
Not for everyone.
For most of America, what it does is it really creates an environment where we see capitalism working. And at a time when Democrats, I would argue, the folks that are the loudest in the room are owning the socialist banner, capitalism seems to be working, and I think that's connecting with the American people.
Kelly, your thoughts on this before we go on to the next topic, which I think is important. Go.
Absolutely. If we would have kept Clinton's the way the tax were going in place, there would be no deficit. And as of right now, the rich are getting richer, and the tax cuts are helping them and corporations and hurting Americans.
Can I just clarify? Bill Clinton benefited from a massive technology boom. The NASDAQ doubled and actually tripled under Bill Clinton. He was very fortunate the internet exploded under his presidency because that's where a lot of the growth came from.
But if we would have kept that in place, we would have no deficit right now, no federal deficit.
Let me make one quick comment, Eric. But I mean, do we really think that we have a tax problem and not a spending problem? This has been my frustration with Democrats, and I'll call out even some Republicans, in that we never talk about the spending. I mean, we're spending $1 trillion deficit that we're running, but we can't think that we have to tax higher.
President Trump is breaking spending records.
But it's going to spend all that money on a wall that most people don't need, and it's not going to help. And Homeland Security say it's not going to benefit or protect us, and that's being conscious of how we're spending.
And I agree with you that I don't give Democrats the pass. I will call out Republicans on this, but
let me just give you a little bit here. I spent 20 years on Wall Street prior to this. Spending is okay when you're in a growth period. We're growing at double the rate under Trump as we were under Obama. It's okay to spend then. The problem was when we were not growing under Bush and Obama, we had no growth. We had horrible growth, if any, lackluster growth, and we were spending. We were doubling under both of those presidencies our deficit. I want to get to this because this is important. The Mueller report, the Barr report, the full document coming out. Your thoughts?
That the American public have a right to know, that they should see the full report and make a determination once they see it.
What do you say, Cliff?
I think they should see it, but I'll tell you this, I think Democrats have put themselves in a really bad spot with this Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, when you go all in on this collusion and all in that, you know, there's absolutely things that are happening that are illegal, it becomes a problem. And I think actually they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot because there might be some things that look a little iffy or that might seem to be, yeah, it might be out of line. But when you go all in that it was full collusion, and now it's kind of coming back, and they're saying, hey, maybe it wasn't.
We haven't seen the report yet. We don't know what exactly the report says.
I will give you that.
So let's just say the Democrats, we can agree they've spent 2 years trying to find some collusion. we can probably pretty much lock up that there has been no collusion, at least not enough evidence to bring Trump into court or an indictment. Have they wasted a lot of our time and money, Kelly?
I don't think we've wasted time and money. I think we need to really actually see what the report says, and then once we see a report, we can make a determination. I think the American public have a right to know and to see what the report says.
Of course, but look, there's a lot of redactions. You're right. We'll never see the full report. They will never see. I got news for you, Democrats. You're never going to see behind the redactions. It's not going to happen. Too many people, too many lives are at stake. Too much foreign policy is at stake, Cliff. So if we're never going to see the full unredacted report,
we don't know that for sure.
Shouldn't we just move on?
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things. Once again, I will blame not just Democrats in kind of pushing this, but it's just this urge for emotion, and the Democrats have really fallen to this, that everything is, boogeyman. He must be the devil. And this is my problem with people either thinking that the president's the Messiah or the devil. Shouldn't we get to a point where, we can work through Congress, we can do things, it's not all this polarized nonsense, but the Democrats, I would argue, are eating out of the hand of President Trump in pushing this absolute false narrative.
We need a president that unites us, not divides us.
Have we ever had one?
I believe that we have.
Coolidge. He didn't do anything.
At least let's put it this way: in modern history, have we ever had a uniter? I mean, Ronald Reagan, was he a uniter or a divider?
Some would say that he was a uniter. Some would say Bush was a uniter. Some would say Clinton and Obama was a uniter.
Yeah, some would.
I wouldn't.
Certainly not this someone. Before we go, Julian Assange. The president referenced not knowing what's going on with Julian Assange. Where do you both stand on Assange? Was he a traitor or a hero?
I believe that everyone deserves their day in court, and you're innocent until proven guilty
of
crimes that you've allegedly committed. So I think we have to wait and see on that.
Well, I think he's being accused of trying to assist Bradley Manning in what she did, Chelsea Manning now. Helping Bradley Manning, who is now Chelsea Manning, what she did as being treasonous. Now President Obama pardoned Chelsea Manning, Bradley or Chelsea at the time.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm in the free Assange camp. I think that Assange is actually one of the few people that is going up against the deep state. I mean, really trying to put forth transparency. I think this is a freedom of the press issue. I want to see all the details, but I'm always going to side on those that are questioning government power, that are really trying to shine a light on what our government does. I think that's a win for everybody.
I do too. Kelly, your final thoughts for the segment?
I appreciate being on the show very much and enjoy it. And as I said before, I hope we find a president that unites us and not divides us, because most people can agree on most issues.
Got you. All right, we're going to leave it right there, Kelly and Cliff. Thank you very much.